We're back with Gail Mukaihata Hannemann, CEO of the Girl Scout Council of Hawaii. Gail, my biggest question is, you're married to the mayor of Honolulu. And how is it being married to the mayor on a daily basis?
In some ways, my life got better in a sense that he is just always been really busy and kept all kinds of schedules and never been very organized about it. So I can remember many times where he would be telling me it'd be 5 o'clock and say, "Oh, and did I tell you that dinner we're going tonight is a black tie?" And I keep saying, well, women getting ready for a black tie is very different from men. He now has he has some really good staff that keep him very organized and keep me informed. So that way, on a practical basis, my life has gotten very good. On a daily basis, I guess I don't really, it's been, I should say from a personal point of view, it's been, I would say, a good thing in that Mufi really loves what he's doing. And I think that makes a big difference when somebody really enjoys what they're doing, even when it comes with all these headaches and heartaches and tough decisions. He really enjoys what he's doing. So that it makes it for really interesting day-to-day conversations, and to watch somebody really enjoy their job I think is a really important thing to have in life. But on a practical basis, we both have very busy schedules, and our famous sort of line is whoever leaves that morning says, "See you tomorrow," because sometimes it is not till the next day that you actually see that person or actually have a conversation. I should say, not so much see, but have that conversation.
You are in high levels of your company and pretty much all the companies that you've been with. Now that I'm sure a lot of people kind of say, "Oh, that's the mayor's wife," but you actually have a very strong career on your own. How do you distinguish yourself and keep yourself, your own identity aside from that? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, in my work world, I don't know if people really even think about me that I happen to be married to Mufi. Because work is work, and you're there focusing on what you need to be doing. It really doesn't even come up in that context. But I don't know.
Have you ever stopped to think that it does help to say, I am the mayor's wife?
Oh, I wouldn't. I think I err on that side where I would never do. I think you actually bring a good point though, because what it does do though is it does really. A lot of times I'll take a step back to make sure that even though I'm doing something that I know is proper and okay, it could be perceived as being something that can be construed other ways. And as everyone knows in politics, perception sometimes becomes reality. So in some regards, like for instance, we actually have a national policy and a local policy that actually predates me coming on board that prohibits the top employees from participating in political events or political campaigns and being involved in issues that are not related to your core business. And so there are many things that I don't participate in all that maybe I should be as a wife, but because of my work, I pull back so that there is never that people don't think that I'm using the Girl Scouts, which I think has an exceptionally great brand name, and people have a lot of goodwill and aloha for it, towards something that could be perceived as politically advantageous.
What is it about what you're doing now that you love so much that you can give that part up for what you are doing?
What do you mean by giving up?
Because, if you have to preclude yourself from certain things, whether it's, you can't be involved with certain political things that maybe they were like, how come you're not here, or so on, but you do it anyways. Does that make sense? It's like you're giving up one part of it to make a difference doing something else.
I don't see it so much as giving up. I see it more as balancing. For one thing, you can't do everything. If you try to do everything, nothing works. So it's knowing where my priority is at that time, and also having a good understanding in this particular case with Mufi. He knows why I don't show up to certain things. So as long as he's not upset, if everyone else wants to get upset, I can't do anything about it. I can do something about the way the people in my immediate world feel about something. But you can't please everybody. And so, and just like in life in general, you prioritize, where you're at. Sometimes it changes. That's kind of what you're referring to, too. Mm-hmm. You have different stages in your life. And in this particular stage in my life, when I have a responsibility to the Girl Scouts, that is high on my priority It doesn't change my responsibilities or my relationship as a wife, but it could change my professional or my public duties, I should say.
You're also the chairwoman for the Hawaii Alliance for Arts. Are you able to tell us a little bit about that organization and your involvement?
Yes, the Alliance is an organization. It's sort of the umbrella group for most of the art organizations in the state of Hawaii. We're affiliated with the Kennedy Center, and the Kennedy Center has one alliance in each state across the nation. And what we are trying to do is trying to find ways to support the arts, so not just from public support, as well as to find resources that can help make the arts thrive. So on a practical level, we have three strands. We work in the community, we work in education, and we work in advocacy area. So our educational components, we work very closely with the others the stakeholders in the state that have to do with developing curriculum for kids in the school. Our goal is to make sure that every child has a quality arts education in K-5. In our community project, we want to be able to demonstrate that the arts are a vibrant part of the community, both as from a social aspect, but also from an economic point of view. So one of the projects that we have going now is the Arts at Mark's Garage. We started that project to sort of to embrace those philosophy, and then the advocacy speaks to public policy and the development of issues related to it.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more on Greater Good Radio.